What's going on, guys? I hope you are doing well this Friday. It is 6:46 Central Standard Time where I'm at. Had some interesting developments here. Where I left off in my last conversation with you all was my assumption was that we were going to go back to the 618 or even to the 0.32. That actually did not end up happening. We got a pivot off the 5, which is rather uncommon, rather intriguing. So I'm going to have to kind of consider that nullified at this time. But yes, a big issue for me at the time was price needed to break above this particular local low at the time. And it did. We did get a candle close. We got rejected off of it, but ultimately we did kind of create this higher low, ever so slightly higher low. So that was a nice little development here. So now, given what I'm seeing on the chart, we are seeing somewhat of a support line develop right here. It's slightly sloping in nature here, which is rather intriguing, given that we have recovered from the 26.6 area. Now, if price is able to sustain above the 786, then this 0.382 level and this 0.236 level will most likely not get tagged. We're most likely going to actually end up going all the way up to potentially the 1.618. We do have a lot of resistance. This area here, it was previously support, but as you can see, when price broke through this red box right here, it just went straight down. So uh, I wouldn't necessarily expect price to actually hit the 1618, maybe like on a wick basis, but I would see a lot of turbulence in this area. So frankly, I'm going to look at the momentum oscillators. I'm going to look at the momentum charts to see what's going on here. Okay. Ultimately, we did get a trigger wave right here. I missed this one. Yeah, I have not been trading. I've been actually working on some other projects here. But yeah, this if you are using Market Liberator B, this was an obvious trigger wave to take advantage of a long position. Usually these are very, very good signs of positive price action. So if you had taken that candle close hourly uh, signal right around here, man, you would be up by 2.2%. Now Bitcoin, you know, that's actually a pretty good return. Okay, so now where are we at this time? Um, we we are kind of actually on the TSI perspective. Um, we did tag the top side of it, so that's rather intriguing. I'm curious to see I guess a faster term time frame, the fast moving average is trying to curl up. Now the slow moving average is to the downside, so that's rather interesting. I will say so on that. Um, we did break above this long-standing resistance line. This was resistance for forever. Okay, so I'm actually going to turn this yellow here so you can see what I'm talking about. But essentially, I'm thinking if price were to actually come down, I would expect this long-standing price line here to be somewhat of a support line. It's kind of interesting. But you can go all the way back, pretty much to here. Okay, this was a key issue for the bulls, but now that it's broken, it looks like momentum from the downside is actually lost. So that's intriguing to me. We do have this slightly sloped support line. We do have confluence pretty much right here. So I'm going to turn that green, turn that solid, and solidify it. So basically 27.3. I do see 26.3. This is a key area. If the bulls can maintain above this price, we are going to go higher. Ultimately, a big issue was or is actually currently is the 28.7 range to the 28.1 range. Now, if I were to go to the 4-hour time frame, you would see what I'm talking about. This area has been an issue. It was a dead cat bounce right up here, uh, all the way to like a breakdown, then resistance. Price tried to leverage it as support, was not able to. As you can see, the massive sell-off right here. Um, yeah, so this area is a key level. If it's broken, we're going to rip to the upside. If it's rejected, we're probably going to continue lower. Now, given that I'm seeing price actually above it, I will kind of turn this line green for the time being, just because of what's recently happened. Now this line, we'll probably give it like a green as well, just for funsies, just so like we get some consistency here. But yeah, ultimately, it is the weekend. I don't like weekend price action. It's not conducive to true price action. Realistically, like it's around Monday, when traditional markets open up in the New York Stock Exchange, where you actually see the true trend kind of develop. Um, so it's kind of hard for me to say definitively that we are in a uptrend. Now, I would say ultimately I'm not going to be shorting up until we hit this range. Here, I feel a little bit more comfortable if, for example, 26.6K, which it has been back tested right here, um, it has been back tested as somewhat of a support line. That's a good sign. I would definitely say if 26.6 holds as support, then I would feel that much more comfortable opening up a scalp long position until we hit these levels, to where then, yeah, we can then kind of consider shorting opportunities. But ultimately, the red boxes right here, I'm going to circle it just so you know what I'm talking about. Red boxes, that's where I'm shorting. Green boxes, that's where I'd prefer to long. Now, there's intraday kind of support and resistance levels that are popping up in between that gives me a little bit more confidence to scalp. Uh, but yeah, I don't like these types of ranges. Look how crazy it's been. We've been moderately successful with a lot of these patterns. We called the diamond pattern, we called the falling wedge, we called the rising channel, we even called this little bear flag. Missed this pump right here. Whoops, we missed this pump right here. For the most part, I've been kind of consistent with like these intraday patterns, but lately I was a little bit off this week. I was expecting a little bit lower. Ultimately, we ended up a little bit higher. But yeah, ultimately 26.6 was taken as a key area. And so far, it looks like price will continue to the upside a little bit longer. Now, if I were to go to say the 4-hour time frame, we did get a sell signal here, so I would be cautious. Actually, on the 4-hour, I would be cautious. Let me go to the daily time frame. Yeah, this is a little wonky. Oh, okay. So the daily is actually long-standing support. Okay, this is good for the TSI, and it looks like it's about to cross the zero line. That's pretty bullish, not gonna lie. So let me go to 2. Oh, we even have a trigger wave on the daily. Wow, guys, we have a trigger wave, a confirmed trigger wave on the daily. That's a very good sign. So a trigger wave is you have one of these situations where you have a low, then you have a higher low, and then you have a higher low. So we have a triple bottom right there, basically. Now the VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price, looks a little oversold. I will say that just a little tad. But what's rather interesting is the money flow as well on the daily time frame. The money flow has a low, higher low, and a higher low, and it's sloping to the upside. That's a very, very good sign from a monetary standpoint, from a Bitcoin standpoint. Ultimately, I would say, from a daily perspective, we have a bullish engulfing candle right here. Um, so actually, which is crazy. If you look at the bullish engulfing candle, um, if you don't know what a bullish engulfing candle is, it's this one right here. Okay. Um, Especially on a daily, we're looking at a support as long as we're above pretty much 26.3K, 26.4K on a daily perspective, or most likely heading to the upside. Um, and if I feel pretty confident in all honesty that we're going to be seeing higher prices within the coming days. But keep in mind though, we're very, very close. These ranges are not, they're very tight. I will say that they're very tight ranges. So um, I really want to see the reaction on this red box. Um, we also have resistance at the psychological number at 30K. And also we have the recent swing high at 31.6K as resistance. So we have a lot of resistance to break through. And we're also still, um, you know, um, I would definitely say this ascending broadening wedge, this macro ascending broadening wedge, is still active. So even though we're seeing short-term moves to the upside, I'm skeptical because this area right here is resistance. That's for sure. This is resistance. And if it gets tagged, a lot of sell-offs will incur. So this could be short-term pumpage until we see some mega dumpage. That's kind of my base case at this time. But for the most part, I'm going to clean up my chart just a little bit. I'm going to just delete some of these lines here. Yeah, well, after everything that I've told you guys, I want to simplify it just so we're clear, okay? Just so we're clear. This is longing opportunities, this is shorting opportunities, okay? We've had a few, and it's about time we actually see these higher prices. And it's going ever so slow. You see, shorting is quicker than longing. Longing, you have to have a lot of patience to long. It takes a lot longer. Okay, they call it longing for a reason. But at the end of the day, so far, what I needed to see has happened. Price did break above this long-standing sloping resistance. You had an initial fake out, but ultimately created a higher low. Now it's back above it once again. I wouldn't be surprised if price were to fall and retest 26.3. I would have a limit order there, not financial advice, but that's kind of what I'm up to. Also, given what I'm seeing with the momentum oscillators, we did have a buy signal not too long ago. If I were to zoom in here, let me show you guys. We did get a buy signal right here. So if I were to equate that, yeah, pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours ago we had a buy signal and 1 minute left on the clock. And money flow is still in the green. So this is actually, not financial advice, but like a safe opportunity to long and ultimately ride this wave. And you're also kind of in conjunction with the daily chart as well. The daily chart actually has a more promising outlook because the money flow is still thick in the red. We're most likely going to see something like this where, yeah, price currently and momentum, money flow and momentum are below the zero line. But as you can see here, once it crosses up, these blue waves, when they cross the zero line, it's just easier for the bulls to push the price up, and it's harder for the bears to push the price down. So right now, actually, we're on the precipice of that, where we've only had maybe like 1 day of this instance. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It wasn't until 8 days until we saw a sell-off, right? So we could kind of have a similar instance here. Okay, so we can have maybe like a week or so of just upward price movement. So something to take in consideration. Yeah, I'm done with my rant. Anyway, take care. Have a great rest of the day and enjoy your weekend. And bye bye.